Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiano, and this is your short take. So this isn't going to be my usual exhorting people to vote until the end. Okay, first we're going to talk about the Republican plan to wage war on the poor and the middle class in this country. Okay, so we're going to talk about two things that people really would rather put their head in the sand about with regard to the fascist GOP. They're called Social Security and Medicare. Now, we've been hearing for years from the GOP that Social Security is about to go belly up. We need to do something about it right away. And usually that solution is cutting Social Security to save it for future generations. That's a crock of shit, okay? Let's get that right out in the open before we even start here. Let's also talk about something else. Some people, like me, rely on Social Security for retirement. I am retired. I live on my Social Security check. Now, the other thing they would like to do is cut Medicare. I rely on Medicare. But let's talk a little bit more in detail here. When you retire, you are entitled to your Social Security. Now, I'm saying entitled because the Republicans also call it an entitlement. It is not an entitlement. It is an earned benefit. Social Security, let me get this right up front, is our money. Everybody pays Social Security tax. Even if you claim no tax status, you have to pay Social Security tax. You do not get out of that tax under any circumstance. It is a required tax. Okay? Let's get that established here. But yet the Republican Party talks about it like it's their fucking money. Their money. Lindsey Graham has floated the idea that, well, maybe we should raise the retirement age to 70 so that we have Social Security preserved for longer. Let's talk about who's talking about cutting Social Security. Let me give you some numbers. Lindsey Graham has a net worth of over $100 million. Kevin McCarthy has a net worth of over $95 million. Let's get down to some of the younger fascists in the GOP. Matt Gaetz has a net worth of $25 million. Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene each have net worth of $41 million. They don't care about Social Security because they don't need Social Security, but they are not the vast majority of the American people. In fact, the vast majority of the American people will need Social Security to survive because at the rate that everything goes up over the years, some people's retirement from their corporations isn't enough, even after working for 50 years. So let me explain it to you. I get my Social Security check every month. When I retire, I'm required to take Medicare. Medicare premiums are actually more expensive than what you would be paying if you got Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. The premiums for Medicare are higher than Obamacare. We got that? So the other thing about Medicare is it's woefully inadequate, especially as you get older. With only Medicare provided through the government, you could go belly up as soon as you have a catastrophic disease like cancer, okay? Something that requires long-term care like diabetes and any other host of illnesses that you may get in your old age. Medicare will not cover it. You will go broke. That is a fact. So what has to happen? You also have to pay a private insurer for supplement plans. So in addition to my $200 that gets taken out of my Social Security check for Medicare, I also pay $228 a month for a supplemental plan. And then you have to pay for a prescription drug plan on top of that, which can add anywhere from $50 to $100. Are you hearing me right here? Yet these people whose salary we pay through our taxes, want to cut this for you. But in the meantime, they also want to increase Donald Trump's tax cut to people who make over $4 million a year. Okay, their tax cut would be $110,000 a year, which is more than the average American's income. You got that part too? Are you getting all this math down? People, I'm going to tell you this now. These people aren't the only millionaires in office. But there's only one party talking about attacking the middle class and the poor. And that's the Republican Party. I really am inclined to just call them the fascist party. But I don't want people to think this is a joke. This isn't a joke. I'm going to repeat this. This is not a drill. The only thing that will stave this off is the fact that the Democrats own the Senate. Understand what I'm saying here. Go back in history. This isn't the first group of Republicans to talk about this. Rand Paul's daddy, talked about eliminating Social Security. He was a libertarian. He wanted free market everything. But he was collecting a Social Security check. But he didn't really need that because he had a lot of money. I can't emphasize enough the havoc that this party is going to create over the next 2 years. We are just starting here. We are just starting here. Every single House seat is up again in 2024. They took the House. It should have been a Democratic Party landslide, okay, just based on the insurrection alone. But that wasn't enough for people. This should be enough for people. This should be enough for people. We need to take the House back in 2024 by a wide margin. There is no question about this. And we cannot allow the Senate to go to the Republican Party. We should have won the Senate by a much larger number. The only reason we didn't is because not enough Democrats went and voted. Now, I don't care if you're not registered, get your ass registered. And if you were registered and sat at home on your sofa so you could, quote, sit out the midterms, which is a habit that the Democratic voters have, you better wake up. This isn't 2016, okay? It isn't even 2020. We are so far beyond that, it's not funny. If this is allowed to happen, there will be a lot of people homeless in this country, a lot of people homeless, the likes of which you have never seen. We cannot allow this particular group of Republicans to take the House and the Senate. There are no moderate Republicans. There are no moderate Republicans. I'm warning you, do not fail to do your civic duty. Not only should you get out and vote, you should bring one friend with you. You should start now talking to everybody you know about all of this and making sure everybody understands just where we are here in this country. I'll talk to you all later.